we are assessing if the situation on the ground is really what we envisage it to be ahead of the Connected Africa Summit 2024. As you are aware, we are hosting the Connected Africa Summit from 21st to the 25th of April here in Kenya, right here at the Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi. So this is going to be a major platform that will enable Africa think as one family from a global ICT perspective based on developments in the ICT sector. There are a lot of emerging issues in our operational environment, a lot of developments such as AI, Internet of Things, big data, issues to do with cybersecurity, issues to do with BPOs. So this will give us an opportunity to discuss what we need to do as Africa from a policy, legal and regulatory perspective so that we are ahead of change or in reaction to change so that we are able to remain relevant. So we have invited to Nairobi next week heads of state, global technological companies. We have invited diplomats and thought leaders, tech thought leaders, so that we think together as one African family within the technological space. We envisage that at the tail end of this summit, we shall have come up with a tech roadmap for Africa that will espouse what we need to do to strengthen our policies, laws, and regulations while moving in tandem. We need to break the geographical barriers that we have within the continent so that as Africans, or African countries for that matter, we can have uniformity in terms of policies, laws, and regulations that are relevant or in tandem with what is happening in our operational environment. We believe that at the tail end of this summit, Kenya as a country shall have benefited immensely. One, by way of espousing our capacity in innovation. We have got a lot of talent that we need to bring to the fore so that people can see what Kenya is capable of by way of technological innovation. That is one. We are going to have direct foreign capital inflow into the country because we have got between 5,000 to 10,000 delegates who will be in Kenya next week. It gives us also the opportunity to showcase the abundance of tourism facilities that we have within the country. In fact, over and above the summit itself, we have made sure that the timetable of the program is flexible enough to the extent that delegates will also have the opportunity to view some of the tourism facilities that we have within the country. It will also be a platform for us to share ideas in terms from research, those from the academia, technological innovations. So it will be a platform for us to benchmark as Africa with the best elsewhere and see what we can adapt while customizing to meet our own unique, peculiar situation. We have assessed where we are going to have the tents mounted. We have assessed where we are going to have the exhibition facilities. We have assessed where we are going to have the plenary discussions. And we are here with all our partners or sponsors for this event. Just to mention but a few, we have got Team Europe here, we have got Google, we have got Amazon, we have got Oracle, we have got Safaricom. So all our partners in this event are available here. So we are doing this not just for us as government, we are doing this for the industry because we want the industry to develop and benchmark with the best in the world. So we are basically facilitators. As a ministry or as government, we are facilitators to ensure that we come up with an enabling policy, legal and regulatory framework for the private sector to thrive. That is why we are thinking together and working together with the private sector while moving in this direction. Kenya is leading from the front. We have in the recent past introduced major technological interventions in the technological space. For example, we are aware that Safaricom, through the M-Pesa innovation, is a best case example globally. That is one. So they would be willing to learn how best they can emulate what Safaricom has done. That is one. Two, when it comes to digital public infrastructure, we have embarked on an ambitious program of rolling out 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable. That is a major introduction or intervention in the marketplace. We are establishing and operationalizing 25,000 Wi-Fi hotspots. We are setting up 1,450 village digital laboratories for purposes of digital skilling and digital jobs for the youth. We have embarked on earnest in digitalizing all government services. As we speak, we have digitalized over 15,000 government services which are now available virtually on technological platform. That is no mean achievement. We have embarked on, for purposes of facilitating inclusivity and universal access, we have embarked on local assembly of cheap, smart-enabled telephones. Yeah? Many countries will be willing to learn from us what we have done so far in that space, because one of the greatest challenges we face with respect to digitalization is that a substantial proportion of the African population still do not have access to cheap or affordable smart-enabled telephones. So they'll be willing and ready to learn from Kenya. Another major frontier where we are leading from front is the area of e-learning. We have come up with our first open university. Since October last year up to date, we have got a whopping 1,500 students already registered on that open university platform, which is domiciled at Konza. Within Konza itself, we have got a big data center facility, yeah, where both the private sector and the public sector are already storing their data. As you are aware, in the face of digitalization, one of the challenges we are facing as a continent is security and privacy of data. Again, most of these countries will be willing to learn from Kenya what we have done so far, and we are going the extra mile to establish more data centers within Kenya because we are home to green energy. Kenya is becoming a very viable investment destination for data centers because of our access to renewable energy. They'll be willing to learn from us and explore what opportunities they have within that space. There'll be a lot of discussions around AI as to whether or not, first of all, fundamentally, we need to ask ourselves the question, whether do we need to regulate AI or we let AI regulate itself? That is something that we need to think about. But this summit gives us the opportunity to discuss this agenda exhaustively and enable us to come up with uniformity across the African borders of how we are going to approach not just AI, but other new interventions within the technological space. And we want to digitalize everything as Africa. We want to leverage on technological platforms so that we become one digital economy as an African continent. If we move in uniformity, the net effect is that we will be able to enjoy economies of scale that will give us a bargaining chip in the global technological space. We want to think as Africa, act as Africa, speak as Africa, and bargain as Africa within the global technological space. We invite everybody to join us for the Connected Africa Summit 2024, right here at the Uhuru Gardens, Nairobi.